How you going, viewers? I'm just back with another video for you guys, and this video is actually about, targeting individuals and how they can actually combat GPS tracking bugs in their vehicle or, audio surveillance in their home or whatnot. I mean, I've tried this out when I was living in my van, and it worked. I actually got the idea from a National Geographic and all these other documentaries I used to watch when I was a little kid. Used to sit down with my grandfather in the lounge room and sit on the carpet and watch all these documentaries with him. And in the documentaries, they had all these collars that they place on lions and wolves and other animals that they can track using an antenna. They find their position using frequency waves. Now, you get yourselves one of these, an AM/FM portable radio. Just unscrew the screws. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to put it back together. I don't really have the patience at the moment. But you unscrew it. You'll find a magnet in there with copper wires around it. Just coiled around it. Get another piece of magnet, connect it to it, and wrap more copper wire around it. Also, you can get a copper wire and connect it to the circuit board which this antenna is connected to. Wrap it around this antenna and you extend its range. Now, you also need a headset because it will make it more clear for you. You'll understand further when you're watching this video what I'm talking about. Now, what you need to do is you need to go inside where the tuning is, the tuning dial, once it's all unscrewed, and switch it over to AM. Take it all the way down to the end. 160 or as far as the radio you have can get. All the way to the end. So when the cover's on it and whatnot, it limits you. So when you take the cover off, you're able to take it back further. Alright. Now I advise you guys to use this technique only at night time. Okay? Because most radio channels are switched off and the radio won't be receiving any interference from radio frequencies, so you'll be able to detect the GPS tracking device's frequencies. It's sort of like, the old mobile phones or cell phones. You used to place them near a computer when you're getting a message or a call. The computer will go it's just frequency disturbance. So this does the same thing. The closer you get to the device, it will go it will create more disturbances. So get that on the way, people, and start scanning your surroundings, your home, wherever your place of rest, you know what I mean? I just apologise, I'm receiving messages on Messenger from a fellow target individual who has actually given me the idea to make this video. Now, you can buy one of these for about $5 to $10 from your local Chinese stores or Kmart or wherever. Makes no difference. They all do the same job. So it's quite cheap. They're not 100% accurate, but it will give you a fair idea of where these devices are. I mean, at first I was experiencing people breaking into my van at night and nothing was being stolen. So it led me to understand that they weren't actually stealing anything, they were placing a GPS tracker in there. And I actually found the first one that they had put in. I left it in there until I knew where I was going to go, and then I just pulled it out and tossed it out the window. Some of these devices are very tricky to find. Okay, if your perpetrators suspect that you're cluey and you're clever, they'll go to extreme lengths to hide them. They'll splice them into your wiring system in your vehicle underneath your dashboard. It'll be impossible for you guys to pull out without an electronic background. So I gave up the second time round. I actually tried to search for it in the car, but I just could not find it. And I also tried to disconnect the battery at night time, but it seems like this has its own, that GPS tracker has its own battery source or power source. I don't know, I'm just speculating. Now these things, these devices have a SIM card in them. The GPS trackers, when you find them in your car, some of the really high-tech ones have a SIM card a GSM SIM card, and it requires a mobile phone to send a text message to it, like an iPhone or whatnot, that's running a certain application that's connected to that device. And then once that person gets a text message back from that GPS tracker, that's it, they're synced up, and on their screen will be a map, you know, just like your Google Maps or whatnot, and then you'll show up on their map. So when I was living in my van, I had people stalking me around, and they'd have their GPS navman or whatever on their dashboard, or their phone was out in their hand. And because my van was higher than the cars, I could look down into their windows, through their windows, and actually see where I'm positioned was a green dot, and where they were positioned was another coloured dot. You know what I mean? So it was a giveaway. I actually told one of the taxi drivers who was pretending to be a taxi driver, I knocked on his window and said, "Hey, stop fucking following me, mate. It's illegal, you're stalking me." Alright? And the bloke was, okay, I'm sorry. You know, another time there was an Indian fella who was following me around. So I strung up a conversation with him, and then I just opened the door of his car and asked him if I can sit in there while I'm doing it. You know, I go, we can have a friendly chat. And lo and behold, there was a freaking black and white picture of me on this prick's dashboard. So he was a private investigator. And to top it off, he had a screwdriver in the cup holder. You know, in case he got pulled over by coppers, he doesn't have a weapon, he's got a tool. You know, he can easily get away with having it there. So, yeah, just keep all this shit in mind, people, and try this out. It may help you. A little shoestring budget spy gear. You know what I mean? You can be your own little James Bond. Alright? Keep up the work, people, and just don't ever doubt yourselves. They're going to try and make you think that you got schizophrenia or some sort of paranoid delusions. It makes no difference if 1 billion people are telling you this. Do not doubt yourself. Once that seed of doubt goes in your head, they will wiggle their way in, and, you know, eventually you'll succumb to them. Okay? Eventually. So I just go by the principle, if 1 million people are jumping off the harbour bridge, would you go and do it? No, I don't think so. So yeah, just keep your head up, folks, and I hope that my videos are assisting many targeted individuals out there, because other targeted individuals' videos have helped me so much in the beginning where I had no clue what was going on. So the more of us that make videos, doesn't matter how ridiculous it may sound or may seem, it makes no difference. You're not doing anything illegal, and they can't do shit to you for what you post on YouTube, as long as you don't mention people's names and, you know, in terms of defamation or whatnot. So you got to understand the law, and how far you can go with talking about what you're talking about, etc., etc. Peace, folks, and much love to everyone out there.